Alright guys, so alright, there's a timer. Let's try and see what the timer was. So this is my review for Starcraft Scavengers #1. Part 1 of 4 is the 4-issue miniseries put out by Dark Horse Entertainment. And yeah, it was mediocre to say the best. I mean, it wasn't that it was a bad book, it just wasn't anything like that I had. There wasn't anything interesting that really caught me by the hair of my chin. There wasn't really anything that just shouted out, read me. Uh, it's a cool cup. There's a cool cover. I think that's what kind of grabbed me. The thing that grabbed me to buy this issue was that it was a cool cover. I kind of like the color scheme and stuff. It was a property that I know a tiny bit about, but not much. StarCraft is a video game franchise put out by Blizzard, same company that puts out like World of Warcraft and stuff like that. And it's basically a sci-fi strategy, tactical games, war games basically, and kind of like what World of Warcraft used to be when it was just called Warcraft. Um, but with that being said, I never really played any of those games, but I thought it was kind of an interesting franchise just to see what was going on. And I mean, the art's not bad. The art's pretty decent. I mean, I have no issues with the art. It's just the storytelling that, and it wasn't even the storytelling I had issues with. I just had issues with the fact that the book is very by the numbers, very stereotypical of what a sci-fi kind of horror story would be. It's like I'm gonna pitch a story to you guys, and you're gonna be like, I've heard that a million times. It's about a team of scavengers. They're flying around in space. They decide they're gonna go after this ship. That's a enemy alien ship that's like deserted. It's been a part of a battle or something. They go in there. They start trying to scavenge anything they can find. It's to resell and make money. But of course, it all goes terribly wrong. Like there's something trapped in the ship that ends up getting out and starts killing crew members. And now this issue is mostly just a build up of that. It's we get some little character interactions. We get basically finding out who people are and their motivations. The captain gives this big pep talk about how he knows it's been hard on them and they haven't had very many good bounties lately. But this one job is going to pay for itself 10,000 times over. It is very dangerous, but it will. The reward is worth the risk. Kind of stuff you hear all the time in movies or comic books and stuff. So that's most of the issue is just kind of setting that up. Exploring their ship, and then they get dropped down in the other ship about halfway through. Start looking around. They have only a couple characters. There's a bunch of just background characters. Only a couple characters are actually given any kind of identity in this book. You get this one kid who's like a really young engineer, but he's like one of the best engineers they've found in a long time, and he's from this like really boring small town planet, farmer's planet. We've heard that before. And then we have his friend that's like a little bit older than him. She's a girl. She grew up with him on that planet, and then we get introduced to like the captain, who's like this kind of generic placeholder captain guy, black guy, very kind of generic. And then we get this other older woman who's like an older, I guess his second in command, maybe, I don't know. So those are the only four characters that really get any kind of spotlight in the issue, and even they're not really. Only the little kid, that the boy, is really explored very much at all in the story. So, with that being said, we don't even get to see we don't actually get to see the threat that's killing people. We just kind of hear it in the background and see people running away from it, and then they get pulled to the ground and killed. That's all we really get to see of the actual monster or alien or whatever they're up against. So they're saving that for the second part of the story. But like I said, there's nothing really like horrible about this book. It's fine. The writing's not terrible. The art's not terrible. It just feels very average. And in a world full of tons of comic books, a lot which are really interesting, groundbreaking, and different, I just don't think there's room for average anymore. Like, I mean, obviously there has to be an average, but you guys know what I mean. I don't think there's room for books like this that don't really bring anything different to the table. The only thing I could really see this book, like this would be a good book to read if you're like at a bookstore that lets you read books, or if you're reading off Comixology or some kind of free subscription based comic book service. That would probably be it'd probably be a good read. Then it'd be worth your time. I just don't think it's worth your money per se. Um, so I'm trying to get better at grading these books that I talk about. Like I used to not grade them. Like I used to at the beginning, and then I kind of just stopped. But I'm gonna start giving number grades again. For this one, I'd give it a 2 out of 5 because, like I said, it's a little bit below average. But not in a bad way, just in like an uninspiring way. You know, like I said, art's not bad. Art's really not bad at all. But it's just, it just doesn't. It's very cliche. It just feels like I'm watching Alien or Dead Space, or just any of the countless sci-fi crew boards the alien ship and then starts getting killed one by one by some creepy horrible thing. It feels like that. So yeah, that's my review for Starcraft Scavengers Part 1 of 4. Here is the cover again. And I wanted to take this time to ask you guys, kind of give like a little poll discussion going on. Do you guys rather? This is the first review video I've done in a long time where I'm actually on camera talking to you and interacting with you on a more physical, personal level, I guess. So what I want to know is, do you guys enjoy this? Like, would you guys rather this format where I'm using my webcam, or I have a physical book that I hold up and show you pages and talk about it? Or would you rather the format that I use most of the time where I do a slideshow, I show you some digital images from my digital library of comics, and it's just voiceovers? Or would you rather, basically what it comes down to, do you want to hear my awesome voice, or do you want to just see my awesome mug in my awesome voice? Find out. Let me know in the comments what you guys prefer, and thank you guys for watching. It's always a pleasure to have you guys here. Got a great little small following, so thank you guys.